to come out, join us. Even the village authorities, the settlement authorities, opinion leaders, they have to come in and support. In that, if they come out, usually other people will join them. So in that, have successes. So that is what we would want to encourage.
It has been another busy day for both the officials of the NEA and volunteers, majority of whom were members of the security forces, and as the volunteers complete their work, officials are hoping that the low turnout, particularly among young people, will be reversed in a bid to ensure the countries maintain a healthy and clean environment. Brahibite, Grts News.
Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation and BP Investment have unveiled a social housing product for Gambians both at home and in the diaspora. The new scheme was announced during a media briefing by the officials of the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation and BP Investment. We have details in this report.
There is a saying that no security without shelter. What I'm saying is that there is no security without your own shelter. So the theme today is your own shelter and not shelter in general. If anyone fails to have shelter or the acquisition of shelter in his or her own priority or medium or short-term goals, then there is something wrong somewhere.
The theme again, he went on, is your own mortgage, your own house. Since in the 80s, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation has been doing a lot in the housing business, from the Bakote Estate to Kanifing Housing Estate, Brusubi Phase 1 and 2, Jabang, to Jarang and Brikama Jamisar. Their managing director, Edward Graham, said when they assess the rate of development and compare it with the rate of increase of the housing deficit, they realized that even though they are doing well, but they were not doing enough to catch up with the increase in the housing deficit.
So management, as a management team, we came together and brainstormed. And we realized that the only way forward now, based on our limited resources, is to go back to that old adage, 2 heads are better than 1. Yes, 2 heads are better than 1. In fact, that's why most people today, they get married. You are on your own. Sometimes, most of the time, what you can achieve as a single person, you will achieve far more than that when you get married.
As a result of their assessment, Mr. Graham continued, they have decided to find a suitable partner and come up with an employment venture, a partner that will come with their own experiences as well as resources, and finally a partner that has a common interest in helping the Gambian people. Asked about the prices and the process involved, Mr. Graham replied by saying that they are still working on the logistics and will be too early to come up with a price, but one thing is assured, that they will be affordable. Their CEO of BPI Group, Demetri Sophocles, gave a short background information about BPI Group, saying it's a Dubai-based company specialized in real estate development, tourism and entertainment and energy. Mr. Sophocles delved into the partnership between SSHFC and the BPI Group.
We must say that we have an excellent cooperation with Social Security Housing. We are partners with Social Security Housing. As you can see from today's event, which was mostly organized by Social Security Finance and Housing, we have very close ties, and the idea is exactly as Mr. Graham said, to develop accessible, affordable houses for the average Gambians. At the same time, what I have to say is that the houses that I'm going to present to you and the way we intend to develop them, they are going to have a product, a final product, which in terms of quality is a product that you have not seen in Gambia yet.
The project, called the Modern City, comprises of 3 development areas, namely Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald, each with a unique and distinctive characteristics, promote a beautiful and modern environment with spacious houses, roads and pedestrian walkways. Customers, he said, can choose from a variety of 12 house types, single and duplex ones, or the apartment buildings with 5-type flats with 2 rooms or more. Everything, he went on, is going to be based on the national colors of the Gambia that he said would reflect the way of living of the average Gambian. Facilities in the estate will include shops, medical centers, banks, SPA centers, and other recreational facilities. A presentation on the project was done by the CEO of the group, Mr. Sophocles.
Everything that we are going to do and develop in Gambia is going to be based on the national colors of the country.
It's a joint venture between BPI Group and Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. And upon completion, Mr. Sophocles said, the 3 integrated development package will establish itself as a natural and smart choice for those who want to live a peaceful and better life, surrounded by lush green areas, ease access to the main facilities, feel safe, and have a positive expectation of the future. Reporting for Grts News, I am Fatou Janembai.
Well, that report by Fatou Janembai takes us to our first break. But when we come back, we look at stories from outside the Gambia. Welcome back to GRTS. Mauritanians are gearing up for presidential elections this year. However, the leader of the main opposition party, Mohamed Ould Dada, has hinted that the opposition will boycott the polls if conditions are not met. The opposition is calling for a proper political supervision of the elections. We have details in this report.
Opposition in Mauritania held a 2-day forum last week called the Forum for Democracy and Unity, during which one of the opposition leaders, Mohamed Ould Dada, announced the opposition would not participate in presidential elections this year if conditions like transparency and fairness were not met. The opposition said it would participate only if reliable electoral advisory bodies are set up with credible political supervision. In that case, a boycott of the vote could be avoided, unlike the legislative and municipal elections held last November and December. In addition to discussing acceptable conditions for the opposition to take part in the presidential elections, those present at the forum also tried to arrive at an agreement on major challenges like national unity, slavery, and the creation of a long-term framework for the future of the country. The meeting did not, however, enable the opposition to agree upon a candidate to put forward. Mohamed Ould Dada hinted that the opposition was open to holding talks with the ruling party to find a solution to the political crisis in the country. The government also said it was open to holding discussions with the opposition.
Ongoing negotiations between the government of Benin and trade unions have hit a snag. Trade unions are demanding payment of 2 months of unpaid salaries for employees who have been on strike. Talks have stalled between the two parties. We have details in this report.
Public sector employees in Benin have been on strike since January 7th. Negotiations between the government and trade unions have come to a standstill. A new point of contention is the employees' demand that their salaries be paid for the duration of the strike. But for the government, 2 months of pay is too much. As for the 2 months of unpaid salaries due to the strike, we have accepted to pay 1 month. And we are requesting that unions urge employees to return to work. Public sector employees are striking over poor pay and limited opportunities for promotion. Their first protest, held in December, ended with a brutal crackdown by police. Since then, Benin's administration has practically grinded to a halt. Courts are open only on Mondays and Fridays. The same is true of hospitals, where personnel are threatening a walkout. Students at the University of Abomi Calavi were told that if courses failed to resume in 3 weeks, they would have to repeat the year. Students are tired of this. We've had enough of this forced vacation. Unions are also demanding strike pay for a strike conducted in 2012. The government says it will deliberate for 3 months before announcing its decision. Democracy accepts a strike because a strike is the only way a worker can exert pressure. The refusal to pay our wages during the strike is illegal, and something we will not negotiate. On Friday, President Boni Yayi announced that the government